cold outside, but the fire keeps us warm. We can spend the night beneath the mistletoe. It's cold outside.
Hi you guys, welcome back to another day of Vlogmas. As you can see, I have someone here with me today, my handsome husband Todd.
Hey y'all.
He agreed to do a video with me for Vlogmas.
Yep.
So before we get started, I hope that you notice my beautiful tree in the background. I have since added some more things to it since you guys saw me decorate it a few vlogs ago. So it's kind of filling out. It's getting a little fleshier. And I might keep adding stuff to it. I don't know. I have more stuff, so we'll see.
Missing the candy cane,
Yeah. You already been plucking candy canes off the tree.
Hey, don't stay there for.
Okay. So what we're going to be doing today, we're going to be building these gingerbread houses. You guys might have seen me pick one of these up in a previous vlog. Yesterday, I went back and got a second one and had the idea for us to sit down and kind of, I think it's going to be a competition. You guys can tell us who did it best.
Yeah, competition's always better.
Okay, so it's gonna be a competition, and while we are building these, we're gonna talk and, like I said, answer some questions. Are you ready to get started?
Let's
Okay.
go.
Okay, let's get started. And it's not like a timed
Yeah.
event or anything. It's just
Something to do.
something we're doing. And hopefully, remember when we did this a couple years ago with the kids?
I don't like this.
Why not? This one's so tiny. No wonder it was only $4. It's so little.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what should we talk about first, do you think?
I don't know. I don't know.
That looks good. These pieces.
Smell good though. Huh?
Smells like those cookies
Yeah.
that I got from Traders. Well, I guess to start, I can tell you guys a little bit about how Todd and I met. We met at church. I was a single working woman, and he was a student ball player.
Should I put this up for like reference?
Oh yeah, and then I'll do this on the back of mine because
I
it
don't
has
want to
like,
buy the camera, though.
oh, it's
Too.
not yet. And then this tells you what's in there,
Mm-hmm.
and oh, we need some scissors.
Nah, we just gonna bite that.
Just bite it open.
Mm-hmm.
See, it has the instructions on the back. And then hopefully they will look like this when we're done. I guess we'll see.
Yeah,
Guess
they
we'll
gonna
see.
look nothing like that.
Well, I guess to be completely transparent and honest, one of the things that we get asked is about our oldest daughter. When we got married, we were pregnant, which is why her birthday is exactly like 6 months after our anniversary. And I remember having a conversation with your dad where he kind of broke it down to us. He's, rest in peace. He kind of, because we were young. We were like, what, 24, 23, 24?
Yeah, something like that.
He basically was like, you guys want to get married. You should not be doing this just because of the baby coming, which he definitely was coming from a place of love and concern and maturity, because he had definitely seen and been through a lot more than us at that point.
Yeah.
But we had to explain to him that we knew that this was something that we wanted to do and that we loved each other and that we were ready. And the baby was just kind of an added bonus to that. So I mean, and here we are, we're about to celebrate 24 years on Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
And then 24 or 23?
20.
Wait, 23.
23. Yeah.
23 years. We're going to celebrate 23 years in February.
23.
Which is still a long time. That's still a long time. 23,
Yeah.
24 is still a long time.
And today's day is very long.
Yeah. So, okay, I already did that.
I don't get it, man. I don't like this old origami stuff, man.
Oh, okay. So after we glue it together, did you already open yours? I
No.
opened mine.
Mm-mm.
After we put the pieces together, we have to let it dry for a few minutes, and then we can start decorating it
How are you gonna get it?
with The icing
I mean,
is the
like,
glue.
what is the pieces that go together?
It's showing you right here. So this is the sides of the house like this.
Oh, that's the side.
And then this is the other side. And then that's, I think, the roof. The
What's the
ceiling.
roof?
These two little pieces.
Ain't no way that's the roof.
Or maybe, oh, you know, okay.
I thought that was the door.
No, the door's on this piece.
Oh, they already got it.
So it's like the door here, and then these two smaller pieces are the sides.
Yeah, that's what I
And
thought.
then those two bigger pieces. Okay. You know, going back to the whole marriage thing, I think, and we talked a little bit about this when I included it in that vlog that I was talking about earlier, where even today, people are still looking at marriage as being somewhat of a finish line, where it's like, okay, I've dated this guy, we've been together for this amount of time, and once we walk down the aisle,
Right.
I will have won the prize and have the man, and all my work is done.
Shit.
And we see the result of that type of thinking because relationship after relationship fails,
Yeah.
because that's what, you know, the woman's thinking. Maybe that's what the man is thinking. Oh, I got a prize in this woman. Or maybe that's what both of them are thinking. And then once they realize that the work is just starting,
Yep.
once you get married and, you know, cohabitate, if you haven't already been cohabitating, and then the kids come,
Yep.
if that's what you're planning, and then the life decisions come, the life situations come, you know, all of that, you are doing that together. So if all you thought it was going to be is this, you know, what's the expression they use? If you just thought it was just going to be like, you know, roses and whatever, then you're going to be in for a rude awakening. Because, you know, I mean, even with our marriage, I definitely am not trying to say that our marriage is perfect. No marriage is perfect. And I'm pretty sure it's 1 in a million if you meet a couple that says, oh no, we never argue, we always agree on everything, everything's perfect, and our kids have never seen us fuss. Our kid, you know, that is a rarity, because there's going to, if you're thinking in terms of reality, there's going to be some hiccups, there's going to be some disagreements, and that is when your relationship is tested. And that is when, okay, we're gonna see if you're in this for the long haul, if you are willing to compromise, or if you're just gonna get up and walk away at the slightest hiccup. And then another thing we were talking about recently was how social media plays a really big role in failed relationships and you're struggling.
Yeah, man, I don't like this joint.
Social media plays a really big role in failed relationships and marriages, because, you know, not even just getting on there posting bad stuff like, oh, this nigga done did this. Oh, I shouldn't say that. Oh, this dude done did this and he didn't do this and he don't do that, and or, you know, the guy getting on saying the same thing. Oh, she don't clean, she don't cook, you know. Not even just that. Also, the happy, if you're getting on posting every other day about how perfect your relationship is, and you're basically, I think, you may say, okay, I just want to showcase my love for my partner, but kind of what you tell me, you really have to think about who's looking at your content. You have to think about who's looking at what you're posting. And all of those people are not going to have your best interest at heart.
True.
So they see that and they're like, oh, so she's trying to brag. She's trying to say her man's perfect. I'm going to show her that she's wrong. And then they go sneaking into DMs and doing all this other nonsense. I say all that to say, you know, for a long, healthy relationship, in my opinion, a lot of that you need to keep to yourself. A lot of the situations that you guys have need to be between you and your partner, not you, your partner, and your mama, not you, your partner, and your best friend, not you, your partner, and social media. I would think the only person that may or may not get involved is a therapist, perhaps. But other than that, you shouldn't be telling anybody all your business if you want to stay married for the long haul. In my humble opinion. And you would say the same?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you know, I ain't trying to get all preachy and stuff, but, you know, like I've always said, marriage is something that God put together. So if He put it together, He would know how to keep it together. You know?
Yeah.
And kind of like this gingerbread house that I'm struggling with. I'm putting this together without looking at the directions. God gives us directions on how to stay married and how to mature relationships and stuff. But we don't want to read the directions. And that's why I'm over here struggling with this gingerbread. Because I ain't looked at the directions not once.
Because you think you can do it on your own.
I can do it on my own. So, you know, at the end of the day, marriage is something that God created. And so if He created it, He would know how to sustain it, bless it, and to keep it healthy. There's a lot of people who are married, they're not on the same page when it comes to raising kids or making money or goals and family life and stuff like that. They ain't on the same page.
And it baffles me how people think that those types of marriages would ever work. It's going to take you a while to find someone who has the same beliefs when it comes to anything. So if it's not something that is necessarily a deal breaker, it might be worth kind of, and I'm not saying lower your standards, whatever your standards may be.
Earthquake.
Oh my gosh. Not to lower your standards if, you know, you set your heart on something specific as far as relationship is concerned, but you have to be realistic. And I know, you know, I'm speaking from a place of you and I were very blessed in that we found each other early on to where I didn't have kids, no baby daddies, and you didn't have kids, no baby mamas, and our two kids are our two kids, and that's it. And, you know, that isn't the case for a lot of people. So where I say our relationship is our relationship, sometimes there has to be involvement from other people in other relationships because there's shared children or, you know, situations like that. So we got lucky in that way. We also got lucky or blessed in that way. And then we also got blessed, our parents, my parents love you or love you. And well, I'm saying actually, you know, my dad's gone. And then yours the same. You know, your parents loved me, I think. So we didn't have that whole dynamic where, you know, your mama hated me or my dad hated you. So that also made it a little bit easier for us. And I realized that, you know, other people are dealing with other situations or circumstances. How did you get that far? I feel like I've been talking a lot. And
I know, you ain't working.
I was, but it fell apart. I would have been on that step.
I'm working.
Okay, let me focus again.
But yeah, I mean, I hear you. You know, you gotta.
So not to say that we had it easy, because we've had stuff that we've had to deal with, of course. But maybe we've had it easier than most.
I don't know about you, but I felt, you know, God's blessing since day one. So, you know.
Yeah, I did, or I do. Yeah.
You know, I just, you know, I don't want to dwell on like the seriousness of marriage and how hard it can be. I want to talk about the good parts, you know, the benefits of being married, because a lot of people are scared to do it, and it's like it's not scary, you know. And I tell everybody, if you marry well, you are blessed. But if you marry bad, it can be a curse. So
Yeah.
you know, but if you marry well, you know, it's a beautiful blessing. You know what I'm saying? And it's nothing to be scared of.
And you know, I feel like a lot of people think that, oh, there's no one out there for me, and so I'm just going to be single the rest of my life. And that's just going back to what I was saying earlier about having these expectations of what you think you are supposed to have versus the reality. I tell the story of this girl that I met a long time ago, and she actually had a piece of paper that she showed me with all the specifications of her husband. And she basically told me that she would never divert from what that paper said. So she was looking for the man that had, I'll say 20 things. Like he had to have money, he had to have a car, he had to have an education. She was young. She was in her 20s, which is young to us, young to me. And I wish I could have a conversation with her today.
Yeah, because she was
20 years later, and understand where she ended up and who she ended up with.
It was funny that I believe you don't know what you want in a marriage until you are married, really. You know, you can say what you want, but you don't even know what you need until you're in that situation.
Yeah.
You know, because
you've never been married before. Well, if you've never been married.
You've never been married before.
Yeah.
But, you know, I thought I needed things that I didn't necessarily need, you know, and things change too, so.
And what's important. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like when, for example, when we got married in our 20s, in our mid-20s, what was important to us then may not hold as much weight as now that we are in our late 40s, you know?
Late 40s, man.
Late 40s.
You in your late 40s.
You in your late 40s too. I'm not that much older than you.
Yeah, then the next few days, you know, we talking about your birthday vlog.
Yeah.
You get another year older.
Yep. Couple days. But you right behind me.
I will always be behind you. Oh, man. I'm done.
I'm back on track.
I'm done.
Okay.
My stuff look good.
I did say that we were supposed to let the house dry before we put on the little balls, but you know, I guess as long as it's working.
Paul.
Shut up. So, okay, so while I finish up, is there anything else that you'd like to talk about or address? Maybe.
I don't know. You think, what would you say to your younger self if you had it all over to do it again?
I was thinking about that, and I think about our girls because, you know, we have two girls, and one day I'm sure that they are going to want to get married. What was your question? What would I say to my younger self?
Yeah.
Not to sound cliche, but just don't sweat the small stuff. Because I remember, oh my gosh, I remember, you know, like I was saying, I remember that some of the stuff that used to frustrate me about you when we first got married, thinking back on it, it really wasn't a big deal. But in my, you know, I'll say youngish mind, I just thought it was like, oh my God, why does he do that? Like, oh, he just drives me nuts and get on my nerves, and you know, not enough to be like, I'm leaving, and you know, not enough to do that, but just, you know, okay, I'm done.
I won.
You won. Mine wouldn't stay together.
I won by default.
By default, yeah.
What y'all think? Comment down below. Mine look nice though. It's kind of shaky.
Lincoln's waiting to eat some of it.
What's it called?
Icing?
Icing, yeah.
Okay, so I'll ask you the same question.
I think like you, I would say be patient, because I think I was impatient. And
Impatient how?
like impatient with myself, impatient with sharing space with somebody else. Be patient with us growing and developing as humans. With job situations or money situations and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I was an adjustment trying to figure out how to take care of a family on the fly, because we got married and we were parents within the next few months.
6 months, yeah.
So it was like all of that was new. So you gotta not only take care of yourself, but you gotta take care of other people.
And even though we were afraid, because, I think I was saying earlier, when we met, I was here, I had my own place, I had a job, but Todd was in school, so he was still living at home, he didn't have a job. And
Well, I didn't have a real job.
Oh, you had an under the table job. Okay. And we really, really just had to leap out on faith that once we got married and we had the baby, that God was going to provide and take care of us. And he did.
And so,
Yeah. All right.
So what do I win that
A kiss. That's it. Well, thank you so much for doing this video with me. The gingerbread houses themselves were, it was a fail for me.
But I think it's kind of symbolic that we're talking about gingerbread houses and marriage, because if you follow the directions, you'll succeed. If you build on shaky ground,
you won't succeed.
You won't succeed. So that'll preach.
All right, well, thank you.
Yeah, so I can work out now.
Yes, show them a close-up of the winning gingerbread house.
There it is.
All right.
Anybody want to compete with me? That's what you gotta be.
You used every
drop.
Every drop of the icing. Maybe that's where I went wrong. I didn't use enough
Yeah,
icing.
you didn't use enough icing.
I think I said, I want to try some.
You want to try some?
Thank you guys so much for
All right, y'all.
watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow.
Yep.
All right. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you. That was fun.
Yeah.